Continuing on with the second assignment for CPI 111. Right now our game's pretty dang easy. Just we can fire at the bad guy and that's pretty much it. There's not a whole lot of challenge to it. What we're going to make happen to make it a little more difficult is we're going to add in a baby dragon object next that gets shot out by the boss every once in a while, and the idea is that the player should not hit the baby dragon, and if they do hit the baby dragon, then they will lose some points. So let's go ahead and do that now. We'll create a new object. This is going to be obj underscore baby. Choosing where's our little baby? Oops, that's not the boss. There it is, the baby sprite. And then we're going to create some events and actions similar to what we've already got with our other objects. We'll have a create event, and we're going to have a move fixed action. And this one is going to be going to the left because it's going to be coming from our boss. And we'll set the speed to 8, so it's not moving so fast. Now we'll add an other event, and this is going to be an outside room event. And what we want to do is destroy the baby if it reaches the outside of the room. So we go to the Objects tab, and we say destroy instance and destroy self. Then let's add a collision event and set it up so that if it collides with fireball, then again it will be destroyed there as well. And we need to have a score event. I'm sorry, a score action, I should say, on this collision event, because we want to subtract some points if our player shoots and fires upon our poor little baby dragon. So we'll go to the score tab to set score, and this time we're going to do a minus score, minus 300, and we'll set it relative as well so that it will subtract points. Now we're going to add another collision event. This is going to be what happens if our baby dragon collides with the main good dragon, the player, which basically means that the player has sort of captured that, and we're going to then destroy our little baby dragon again. And while we're here, we're going to add points. If the baby dragon makes it to the parent dragon, then we'll add a whole bunch of points. We'll put in 500 points. All right, and then we can say OK. So we've created a baby dragon object. We've set it so that if it collides with the fireball, the player is going to lose 300 points, but if the baby dragon makes it to the big dragon, then the player will gain 500 points. Next, we need to change our boss object so that it will randomly create those baby dragons, just like we did when we had it randomly create the demons, right? So to make that happen, we're going to use the step event that we've already placed onto our boss object, and we're going to add another chance action. So I go to the control and grab another little dice. This time, let's set the number of sides to be 100. So these baby dragons are going to appear less often, right? The bigger this number is, the less likely it is that the event is going to occur. Then underneath that, we will choose a create instance, just like we did before. And the instance that we're going to create is going to be our little baby, like so. And we'll say, OK. Save that. Save the whole game, hit play just to see if our baby dragon will appear from time to time. Here we are, there's those guys coming out. Something's amiss though. We see those dragons are appearing well, but our baby dragon's position is wrong. And do you know why? I'll go back. Here's our baby object. Here's the create. Here's our fixed move. Let's open that up. We've got it going left at 8, so that's okay. But if we look at our boss, remember that we need to use our step event to create this object instance. And we need to be careful about the position. 0, 0 is fine, but we need to set it relative so that it's going to be in relationship to that boss object. Otherwise, what happens is that those baby dragons appear, but they appear right at the top left-hand corner of the screen, so you never actually see them. So let's take a look here. We have our bad guy showing up. Let's see if we get, oh, there's a nice little baby. And if I get that, then I'll get some points. See if I can get it without getting hit by these guys by hiding up above. Ooh. Why is this hard? There, I got 500 points. Okay. But if I fire on it, then I lose points. Next, let's add background to make things look a little better and add some sounds to our game as well. So we did this in the first assignment. I've already brought in the background image. So I'm going to go down to my room, open it up, grab the backgrounds tab, come down to the background selector and choose my background 0. And you'll see there it is sitting out there. You'll notice that the dimensions of my room match the dimensions of the background. That's how we sort of set it up. You can tell that by seeing the little grid, the Snap 2 grid. All of this area out here is going to be outside of my room. So that looks nice. So let's go ahead and add some background music as well. So I'll go to our import sound window and I'll hunt down the sound for this project. And you remember we had it in a zip file that you downloaded from the Blackboard site, and in there it's called Dragon Items, and inside there you'll find there is a file called music.mp3. That's the Evil Clutches theme. That's the song we're going to be using for here. And so I'll give it a name. I'll call it, because it's going to be music, I'd like to know what it's called, so I'll call it Music Background. And I'll go ahead and choose the attributes that are selected automatically. Come down to my room again, open it up, and let's, oh, actually, before we do this, we need to modify our manager object so that it will also play the sound. So I'm going to do an add event and choose create, and then come to the sound section on the main one tab, select the music background and set looping to true. So that was all pretty quick. I just went back to the manager object and then I added a create event, and then when that manager object first comes to life inside our game, it's going to then play the background music. And that object already lives in the room, so we don't need to mess with it. Let's add one more sound. This is going to be a sound effect, so I go again to the sound import window. This time let's add the demon sound. Say OK. Name it using a good scheme. And I'll use the default attributes. Then I want this to play when we hit our demon, or when we interact with the demon. So I'm going to go back to the demon object, open it up, and let's grab our collision event for when the demon gets hit with the fireball. And then we're going to add another action over here, which is going to be one to play a sound. I'll grab that over here, select my demon sound, and have it not loop so that it just plays one time. All right. We better add a sound for our little baby as well. So again, I'm going to the sound import window, selecting the baby sound from our Dragon items folder, calling it sound baby. And then we will go back again to our daemon. And let's see. Actually, we don't want to go to our daemon because this is our little baby guy. We want to have it working with the baby. So I open the baby object, and I'm going to play the sound when our poor baby gets hit by a fireball. So I go to the collision event with the fireball, come over to the actions, and then here I'll go ahead and choose play sound. Select the baby sound and leave loop as false. Hit OK and OK again. Save the whole show. Hit play to try it out. Okay, well, it worked okay, but there are a couple things that we can do to clean up the way the game is functioning so far. First of all, when the game ended and then restarted, we would start to play our background music, but we already had music playing. So what ultimately started to happen is that you'd get multiple versions of the background music overlapping each other, and that didn't sound very good. Also, because we now have a background image in our game, our score text that we're drawing on the screen is very difficult to see because it's a black colored text against a dark background. So we're going to have to do a couple things to fix that. Let's start with the sound that we're playing in the background. For both of these changes, we're going to go to our Object Manager and open it up. And first, in our Create event, we have an action to play the background music. We're going to add one more action, and that's going to be on our Main 1 tab. We're going to go again to the Sounds, and we're going to take this action, which is the stop sound action, and drag it over and stick it on the top. And then we're going to select our background music file. So what will happen is that each time the game restarts, each time this room loads, first we'll stop the background music. So if it's playing, it will stop, and then we'll play the background music so that we don't get multiple copies going at once. Next, let's go to the Draw GUI event. Take a look at our action. We're drawing the value of the score. Let's come down on the Actions palette, down to the Draw tab, and come to the Settings section. And you'll see that one of the settings is one to set the color. So we're going to grab that and drag it over up on the top as well. And we want to choose a color that's light so that it will show up against the background. So I'm going to choose this nice bright yellow color and say OK. And OK again. And OK yet again. Save my file. Play it. And now when the game plays, we can see the score because it's in yellow. And when we get killed and the game restarts, we don't have overlapping background music playing. All right, with that, we have finished all of the steps from chapter 2 in our book, but we still have a few more steps to get through to finish assignment number 2 for class. So in the next part, we'll go on and do those steps.